Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back. We're going to start today's program with Vineet Vohra. And for Vineet, street photography is a journey that he travels every day, learning something new and striving to improve himself along the way. He began his professional career as a wildlife photographer before turning his lens to street photography in 2001, and it instantly became his passion. Vineet is also an accomplished teacher and has held various workshops in Asia, Europe, and the United States. He has a special place in the hearts of the street photography community in Asia and has made significant contributions to its development over the past 10 years. Please welcome Vineet.
Hear a piece of information, and it stays with you for 3 days. And you look at a picture, it stays with you forever. His Highness, thank you so much for being here and giving me this opportunity so that I can present my work and talk a little bit about what I do and how I do it. So you shoot what you are. You only photograph what you love or care about. You're curious about as a street photographer, and you only photograph people, things, and moments in which you find your soul. So there are various different definitions of street photography, and for me, it's very, very simple that street photography is about that transitory lie that lies behind the truth. It's a pause button in a live movie. The minute we press the play button, every character starts performing again. So I'm just trying to show you how I made a picture, how I stumble upon scenes, and how I really make to the final image. So I stumble upon this scene where the mother is guarding the child with the sari so that the sun doesn't fall on him. And I keep moving here and there, trying to find something which I can simply create serendipity with. And I'm trying to also figure out that the light is not great and what position I can go in so that I can create a better picture. And suddenly I find a better angle where the light is okay and I can make a better picture. And then, boom, that bird. And if you'll see the position of the hand, which is really guarding the kid, and also there's a guardian angel on the top. Eyes only sees, brain only processes, and the heart delivers. So I believe that we have two eyes, and one eye, which looks through the viewfinder, is looking at the world. But when we are pressing the shutter, the other eye shuts. So there's no purpose of the other eye. There's definitely a purpose. The eye which shuts, it looks inside you. It tells you to press the button then. So I do a lot of serendipitous moments, and there is a book which just came out. It's called Serendipity, and I did that. It's an innate ability for making desirable discoveries by accident. Serendipity is simply unsheltered intention also. You know, at times it is in our back of our mind that we want something so badly, and it happens. Sometimes we stumble upon an inconvenient truth. The universe looks suspicious as if it was a fix. Serendipitous photos to me makes familiar into something poetic and at times mythical. It consists of various factors such as proximity, similarity, intuition, direction, and closure. So I'm going to be showcasing some few places which I've been to over a period of 20 years, and I'm sharing those shots where serendipity happened, where a little bit of love came in. Varanasi is one of the world's oldest continually inhabited cities in the world. So this is normally the general morning of Varanasi. You go on the ghats, you go on the banks, and you will see saints praying. And you look at the orange, which literally plays like a hello on his head. I also like to make quirky moments where I try to play with the perspective, and it feels as if the soul is burning. The quality of these images are slightly haywire because they are actually made from film. Some of the images are films converted into digital, but as the time grew, I moved on to digital. Snake charmers, well, we call it as a land of snake charmers. We don't see a lot of snake charmers anymore in India, but we'll definitely see one or two here and there. It's now illegal to carry snakes like this, but if you'll see, the connection between the whole environment makes it a little special. At any time you have any questions, by the end of presentation, let's have 10 minutes and you can answer. I'll be able to answer all your questions. I work with a lot of echo. I feel that everything in the world, it starts connecting for a reason, and we unknowingly become a part of it. We are doing things together without realizing as a whole, it's becoming a moment in which we are together. And then the shadows, it appears as if, it is actually a dog, but it appears like a lion who's waiting to eat that goat. So street photography, everybody has different interpretations about street photography. For me, street photography is just about simple moments in which you have subjective interpretations. And when I said it was a lie, I didn't really mean that I'm shooting lies, but I'm showing you lies. For me, a photograph is not what is sight, it is about insight. For me, it's not about showing, it's about hiding what else is there. Something which is unique and which I feel that I'm seeing it for the first time and which makes me stop. I take a picture of it. I like to play a lot with juxtaposition. I like to make things, I would say I'm a surgical doctor with precision. I like to do the head replacement therapy also at times, and also the limb replacement therapies. But also create weird perspectives. So Varanasi, to us Indians, it's a very holy city, and we'll see that there are a lot of images which is about the saints, which is about the banks, which is about the morning light. But for me, I wanted to create something very simple, which we normally tend to miss. Yes, this happens. We still bathe our buffaloes in water in Ganges. So how did this shot happen? It was just miracle? No. This is how it started. Kept waiting a little bit. Went deep inside water, at least 3 feet. And when it came right, this is what it came. So the next is Mahakumbh. The Prayag Kumbh Mela is a Hindu festival Mela held at Prayag Triveni Sangam, the meeting point of 3 rivers, the Ganges, the Ganga, the Yamuna, and the mythical Saraswati in Prayagraj. The festival is marked by a ritual dip in the waters, but is also a celebration of community commerce with numerous fairs, education, religious discourses by saints, mass feedings of monks or the poor, and entertainment spectacle. Approximately 30 million people attend the Allahabad Kumbh Mela in 2013. respectively, to bathe in the holy river Ganges, making them the largest peaceful gathering event in the world. The little moment is very, very important. We as photographers, we decide what we want to shoot and what we want to show. So what resonates with me is those little tiny moments. It's like a movie, when we step out, we see people moving, we see moments moving. I like to put that pause. But at the same time, I give the liberty to the viewer that they can press the play button and every character comes to life again. So imagine this is a pause in a movie. Now press that play button and you'll suddenly see the bird flying over and the kid moves back. And these little shadows which complete us without even knowing. Light plays a big role in my images, and I think all of us, whenever we feel that we need to create pictures and where do we go, just follow the light and you'll simply find images. Find beauty in everything. Not only do I do quirky or maybe humorous images, I also do emotional images. So we believe that washing or taking a dip in the Ganges washes away our sins. And for the women, when they get their hair removed, it's like they're giving as a gift to Ganges to give them peaceful life after this. And the dip which we take during Monochrome, it's literally freezing. It's about 2 degrees, and people just dip in it like they have no tomorrow. And there are little funny moments also which happen. Now this woman had too many lice in her hair. How did this happen? This is where it started. I bent down, saw this woman playing or combing her hair. So this is how it really happened. Next comes the Latmar Holi. Now, Holi is a festival of colors, and I think everybody who's not been to this festival but seen pictures of people just bathed completely or dipped completely in color, they would want to go for this festival. Now, I'll make it very, very quick. It's a Hindu festival, which means a Holi or Holi of sticks, which is the Latmar Holi. The festival is celebrated with a lot of enthusiasm and excitement in the twin towns of Barsana and Nandgaon, also known as the towns of Radha and Krishna, respectively. Every year during the period of Holi, thousands of devotees visit Nandgaon and Barsana to be the part of Latmar Holi. The Latmar Holi festivities usually last for over a week and ends on the day of Rang Panchami. I have this crazy fascination for animals on the street because I feel we're living in an environment of coexistence. And I always try to have some sorts of animals in my picture and make a bigger moment connecting with them. And then colors. These kids, they are dressed up as Radha and Krishna. Radha is the Hindu goddess and Krishna is definitely the Hindu god. And the Holi is celebrated because Krishna goes to the town of Radha and put colors on her before they get married. people around her, they're trying to dip her in color, and she has a stick that she will hit them and not let them come close. Eventually, she'll be colored, trust me. Like this. Trust me, it's not an easy situation to be in when you have to protect your cameras, you have to protect your eyes at the same time and make pictures. Because even if somebody is moving his head, the whole color comes into your eyes. If you've realized, I only shoot at 28 mm, so I have to literally go close to people, very close to people. So, looking at my images till now, you would feel, oh, India, and color is the first thing that comes into our mind, and that's what my fellow photographers also told me, that your images rely heavily on color. So I really, took up this challenge for a year, and I shot on Monochrome. Yes, a camera brand which only makes monochrome, and I took it as a challenge. And what other than Holi in black and white? So I feel emotions are not indebted to color. Color do help bringing out the emotion, but the black and white works equally well. After seeing Holi in color, you can literally feel the colors around these guys. These little moments in which people don't really even care about. It feels like the end. Okay, and then the big question mark on his head. How did it happen? Well, some pictures just, you stand, you wait for hours, but some pictures, they just happen in 4 frames. If you'll see, there is that guy, the same guy, he's standing at the back. I find him interesting, I find him intriguing because he has this big, we call it tilak on his forehead. I start to go close to him, and I see this bunch of birds flying over his head. I position myself, and I get this shot. Then following it up for the whole year when I did black and white, I'm just following it up with few other black and white images which are not from Barsana. They are from Delhi and all over India. Little funny, quirky. She definitely has 32 teeth, and we can make out. Images are one thing, and how we interpret is another. What is the purpose of a photograph? A photographer takes it, but it is only complete when the viewer is able to read it. Why I took this picture was, I felt that this white thread around this guy was cutting his head into 2. And those 3 were his split personalities which were coming out. So I'm sure you guys are reading this image very subjectively, and you have your own interpretation about it. And that's the beauty of street photography. Street photography is not about coming to an end. It's about raising as many questions as you can. When we were kids, we heard about this story called Cock and Bull, and I tried to interpret it in this way. The 4th leg is not real, by the way. Um, Again, I mean, to find this coincidence, it takes a hell lot of time. I'm not, don't take me wrong, I don't start looking at people's underwears, but you know, when you have stars on the bus, there could be funny coincidences, happy coincidences. So by the end of every image, I try to show you, I try to really put in a little effort on how I made this shot. So this shot started with this position. And when you, as a photographer, you feel how to make a shot and when to make a shot, you have to be ready. You know, photographers, I mean, I would say street photographers per se, and the moments, it has a very weird connection. Street photographer falls in love with the moment when he's seeing. When they fall in love, there is some kind of infatuation going on, and then the moment becomes pregnant. The photographer should know when the moment is peaking so that they can deliver. So preempt the situation. What you want from the situation is very, very important. Pushkar Fair, a lot of you must have heard about this as well. Pushkar Fair, also called the Pushkar Camel Fair or locally as Pushkar Mela, is an annual livestock fair and cultural festival held in the town of Pushkar, Rajasthan, India. The Pushkar Fair is one of India's largest camel, horse, and cattle fairs. Apart from trading of livestock, it's an important pilgrimage season for Hindus to the Pushkar Lake. Stark comparison, stark echoes, and stark lines is what I do. I never painted that duck on the goat. It just happens. Be ready. You know, don't think that I'm finding these things and you can't. You can definitely find these things. Just be prepared. We cover our scooters so well in Delhi. But then that dog, it appears as if they're not twins. There are three of them together. Juxtaposition, which I like to work with. As I told you earlier, prosthetics is an art and I'm trying to succeed in that. Those funny little moments, you know, try pressing that play button again and it is going to come back and it is going to be over. It is that thing in time which just happens for a second. Kid is fine. He was okay. The cock-eyed woman and the holy cow. Did I see the cow just positioned like that? No, with the rangefinder, you have to really struggle and make it happen. So how did this happen? I find this place where the livestock is tied with a tree at the back. Now, I come from a sculptor background and I feel I'm really intrigued with forms. This tree was really, really challenging and I wanted to create an image here. So I tried playing around. It takes me a while. I'm also scared going close to them because they can definitely hit you. They have big horns. Even if it's half a millimeter not okay, it doesn't work. See, if it's half a millimeter out, it doesn't work. But when it's here, it starts working. This image also has a very mythological value because in India we call it a holy cow. We worship cows. So it made this image more special to me. Delhi, We call it Dilwalon ki Delhi, which means the Delhi is with people with hearts. If you want to know what India is and how culturally rich and beautiful it is, then visit Delhi, the city where I was born and the city where I belong. As street photographers, we want to travel as much, but I would encourage all of you as street photographers who are trying to pick up street photography that your neighborhood is the first place where you should start shooting. The biggest mosque in Asia, Jama Masjid. This is during the day of Eid. In Delhi, we celebrate all the festivals. We are all together, and it just, you can see how many people are there. This is pre-COVID times. Last year when I went there, there were very, very few people because we all know what the situation is. Going close is no problem. People are really happy when you go close and shoot unless you really enter their territory, which is not okay. If you look at it once again, it appears as if it's a flicker. It comes together, goes, and goes away. One of my friends said that, oh, are you making a movie and making a pause wherever you like, you make a picture out of it? And I took it as the biggest compliment because it is indeed a pause. People don't walk with daggers in their hands in Delhi. He's just a butcher who has chickens in his other hand and he's walking away. But that bird on the right side, there's a question. I never started or I never thought that I'm going to make a picture with the chicken. You know, it is serendipity just happens like that you're waiting for something else and something else happens. Some of these works are displayed here. Exposure has been really kind to me that they did a big exhibition also. So thank you so much, His Highness, once again. His Excellency, thank you. These are all from Old Delhi because it's more, you'll see the color more vibrant. In New Delhi, towards New Delhi, things have really changed. Everything is big buildings and big malls coming up. Yeah, and if you don't do it right, you get a kick. No, she is definitely not pickpocketed. There is nothing like this happening, but there are a lot of pickpocketers in Delhi, so I just wanted to show the humor side of it. That's the joy of Delhi, you see. I leave the interpretation open to you guys, how you want to make this kid look like. He's about 9 feet, 10 feet. It's so funny that I saw 12:05 on the wall clock, and if you'll see, there's a guy who's wearing 12 and 5. So these little coincidences, you have to be attentive, and they will happen. They're happening for you. They will always happen for you. Maybe better. And then the long tail. How did this happen? So I saw this dog under the bus with that lion. I'm trying to look for it, what's happening, and I tend to go close. And he comes out. When he comes out, I'm so scared that he might just bite me, so I step back. I make my position, try to see what I can do. He's becoming too friendly. He literally wants to eat the camera. You can see how close he is. He's not going to go back. Then he's bored of me in a while. And when he turns, I make a picture. So you shoot what you are. I always ask myself, why do I want to make this picture? It is important to ask why rather than how. Why is the reason behind why I started this project and it started reflecting. It's all about expressing myself and to discover who I am, be intuitive, made photographs which are spontaneous, transitory, and instinctual, something that you make in a fraction of a second, something you blink and you miss, something which is you. So thank you so much. This was the presentation I had for you. Thank you. And if you have any questions, I'm right here. I'll be happy to answer those questions. And if you don't also, then also it's fine. But I'll be happy to answer if you have any questions. And if you are in India anytime, just give me a shout and I'll help you out. Thank you.